All right, what's up, everybody? I'm just going to give it a couple minutes for people to trickle in. But the purpose of this live stream is just going to be hammering some bets for March Madness. So I pulled up the OddsJam positive expected value page. Let me just go ahead and share my screen here. So found myself with some free time. I was locking in some bets, and I figured, why not just do it on a live stream and hammer bets so everybody can tail live as I am locking in these bets. So that's what I'm going to be doing, specifically looking at March Madness bets for today. Let me zoom in a little bit, probably hard for people to see. And I'm just going to give it a little bit for people to trickle in and stuff. But yeah, so if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the chat. Just want to make sure that people, hopefully, this is as helpful for everybody. I guess I'm trying to make this as helpful for everybody. Let me just tweet this out real quick as well. Give me 1 second. But yeah, so I know that like a lot of times I will post a bet on some form of social media, and then the odds will have changed by the time it like goes out or people see it. So these live streams I know are helpful. So yeah, we can get right into it. So there's a couple that I have already locked in that I wanted to highlight. This Pittsburgh money line I locked in on Caesars is still available at +185. This is really good. Pittsburgh money line +185 at Caesars. I tweeted it out. But the reason why this is really good and like the stuff that I look for when I'm looking to lock in bets, like when I say, I mean, people probably heard me say this a zillion times, but you want to compare the odds of the bet you're placing with every other sports book to see that you're getting an outlier. And I get a lot of questions like, okay, how do you know if it's an outlier? So, which is a great question. So what you want to do is view the event page in a new tab. So just right click, open link in new tab. And then it pulls up the screen that you see here, which allows you to click this button, show no vig odds. So what you want to do is compare the odds of the bet you're placing with the sharp sportsbooks and make sure that you're beating the closing line of the majority of sportsbooks, given the heaviest weight to the sharp ones, which are Pinnacle, BetOnline, Bookmaker, and Circa. So remember, we're getting +185. Click the button, Pinnacle, +181, Circa, +181, Bookmaker, +180, BetOnline, +177. Every single sharp sportsbook that is pricing this play is giving you their no vig odds more favorable to occur. The wording always throws me off, but they're giving it to you as a more likely scenario than the +185 that Caesars is offering. And it's still available on Caesars right here. Pittsburgh money line +185 on Caesars. I think I accidentally locked it in twice, which was not on purpose. So I'm actually going to it's perfect. I'm going to cash one of these out. I meant to put 3/4 of a unit on it, which is $75 for me. Sometimes Caesars is weird and but it doesn't matter. Regardless, those of you watching, if you haven't yet tailed, take Pittsburgh money line +185 at Caesars, put 3/4 of a unit on it. And I see the questions. We'll see if there's something on FanDuel. I'm just filtering for the positive EV page. It doesn't look like it, unfortunately, but if anything pops up, I will let you know. And what's up, Josh? So another play that I have already locked in here, which is still available, is the over 122 in VCU versus St. Mary's. So the process, so again, lock this in, put a unit on it, and then I'll talk about it. But for those of you watching, go log into PointsBet and go lock this play in at -110 odds at PointsBet. For those of you that can get a normal amount on PointsBet. But for totals and spreads, so you still want to open the event page in a new tab, but the process is a little bit different. Like for moneyline play, it's just a money line. It's just how books price the money line. There's no other option. For totals and spreads, not every single book is going to have the same pricing, right? Like the total is offered on PointsBet at 122, but if you view the event page in a new tab, it pulls up the main line of every other book, and we can see where they price it. And basically what we're trying to do is see, okay, do the sports books that price this market have it priced above the number we are getting because we're taking it over? So Let's see. Again, giving heaviest weight to the sharp sports books. So Pinnacle has their main line at 123, and they still favor the over. So not only does Pinnacle think the total should be priced a full point higher, which is a big deal. Like, I know that for those of you that are watching this that are like have been sports betting for a decent amount of time, you understand the value of just the 1 point difference. For those of you that are still new, there's a couple ways I like to describe it. Number one, you'd be shocked at how good these sports books are at pricing totals and spreads. Like, on average, how accurate that they can get the totals to be. And sorry for my dog barking. So getting these little edges, even if it's just half a point, is massive in the long run. For example, on a live stream yesterday, I bet Colgate, Texas over 142.5. The total landed at exactly 142. That sucked. I got the best odds, but I just lost by that half point. So in this case, we're taking the over 122. Like, the most likely scenario, if you look at the sharp sports books, Pinnacle, BetOnline, Bookmaker, Circa, is that this total is going to land at 123, 122, something like that. So let's pretend it lands at exactly 122. Every other bet you would have placed loses, except yours, which at least is a push and you get your money back. Not ideal, not horrible. If it lands at 123, the only other book's main line where that bet wins, where your bet wins, is PointsBet, looks like PlayUp, and Bet Rivers. Every other book has their main line at 123 or 123.5. And let's pretend that this only makes a difference, 5, 10, 15, 20% of the time. Well, if you are positive EV betting, you're presumably placing a large volume of bets, like over the course of time. Like, if you want to go to my bet tracker, how many bets that OddsJam has tracked from me. Total bets, as soon as this loads, it's a ton of data, but I can show you the math. Like, let's just put it at the lowest number. Let's pretend it only is the difference between winning and losing 5% of the time. Could be higher, could be lower. I'm not sure exactly. Using OddsJam for a year and a half, so there's a lot of data to load. But let's pretend it's only 1,000 bets. That's literally 50 times where, okay, and I'm basically at 1,000 bets, so that's kind of a perfect number. That's 50 times where I literally won a bet that I wasn't going to win because I got the best odds. And that can be the difference over the course of time between winning and losing money, literally winning and losing money. So it's really important. Long story short, sorry, though, I know that was a long-winded way, but over 122 in VCU versus St. Mary's is a very good play. Let me give this page a refresh and see what else we got here. So here we go. I just locked this one in. Looks like the odds changed actually against me. So I locked this in on Memphis. Let me just give you the play. Sorry. Memphis Money Line, minus 110 odds at FanDuel. So JT Gristle, there you go. Here's a play on FanDuel. Hit Memphis Money Line at minus 110 odds. I actually locked this in. Where is it? At too many pending bets here. Here we go, minus 111. So it actually is 1 cent better now at minus 110. But the logic is the exact same. Minus 110 at FanDuel, Pinnacle minus 120, Circa minus 127, Bookmaker minus 129, BetOnline minus 130. So you open these up in a new tab and you do the same thing. All right, show no vig odds, which I already have it clicked. So remember, we bet it at minus 110, show no vig odds, BetOnline minus 119, Bookmaker minus 118, Circa minus 115, Pinnacle minus 113. That's awesome. Literally 4 for 4, beating the no vig odds. I'm not saying that Memphis is a lock. And I know that I said you should put a unit on every single money line underdog. That's not me saying every single one's going to win. It'll be profitable. Like, you get Princeton to win yesterday. It's plus 890. But if you can beat the closing line of all 4 sharp sports books, that is something that will be profitable in the long run. Again, I'm not saying a play's a lock because crazy stuff happens. I had a rough day yesterday on my actual bets that I liked. But with this type of value, it's something that'll work out in the long run. So Memphis money line minus 110. To be honest with you, I don't know much about Canada. I know it's Pinnacle. And you can filter in and out sports books. So if you go to your settings, like you click your name up here, you go to profile, you can filter what sportsbooks show in your location. I will say these are all BetOnline and Bookmaker are offshore sportsbooks, so they're only included on the Platinum plan. But to be honest, I'm not 100% sure about Canada. I can't really speak to locations that aren't the US just because I don't use them. But if you're on the Platinum plan, you should still be able to pull odds from those sportsbooks. So let's give this a refresh. Let's see what else we got here. So here's another money line play. Looks like it's St. Mary's. This goes against Randall, whose favorite upset was VCU. Randall is an incredible sports bettor with college basketball. He had a rough day yesterday, but that does not make me lose faith in him at all. But I did want to look at this point spread and two point spreads, Fairleigh Dickinson and Creighton. Let's look at Fairleigh Dickinson because it's minus 108 odds, so it's a little more favorable for people tailing. So can't really glean much from only seeing odds from 3 sports books. And because it is a spread, we can view the event page in a new tab, and we can see where other sports books are pricing it. So BetOnline is 23.5 even money. Circa is 23.5 favoring Fairleigh Dickinson, which is a good sign. Looks like Pinnacle and Bookmaker have it at 23. So this is good. This is a good play. So I'm going to go ahead and lock this in on WinBet. I'm going to put a unit on it, which is $100 for me, but for everybody else, whatever 1 unit is for you, is what I recommend putting on it. So I'm going to go ahead and lock this one in. That one has been placed. And then the other one I wanted to look at was Creighton. This one doesn't seem to be as good. I'll probably end up avoiding this one, but let's just see how it looks. So we got Creighton. It's +5 or -5, excuse me, at +100. So we're getting +100 odds, which is pretty good. But like some books, like Bet Rivers has it at 4.5. Most books do have it at 5, and we're getting even money. And it's neutral EV to Bookmaker and Pinnacle. So I'm going to go ahead and avoid this one. I'm not going to touch Creighton -5. I'm just going to stick with the Fairleigh Dickinson one. And then the other 2 that I locked in. So let me give this page a refresh. And it looks like the odds changed on, oh no, the St. Mary's one, but it got worse. But I'm just going to go ahead and leave it as it is now. So a couple, I think 4 bets for you guys to tail. Memphis money line, -110 at Memphis. Pittsburgh money line, +185 at Caesars. VCU versus St. Mary's over 122, -110 odds at PointsBet. And Fairleigh Dickinson, +24, -108 odds at WinBet. And that's going to be it. So 4 bets for you guys to tail. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. We'll be doing more of these live streams. So make sure to definitely subscribe to my YouTube channel to A, get notified for these live streams, and B, just whenever a video drops. And that's it. So again, thanks guys. Talk to you later.